Hello, Mark Crossfield here. Today we're going to check out the TaylorMade RSi2 irons and hit it up against Mizuno JPX850 Forge. So two kind of better player, if you like, or that medium bracket, not that complete blade, certainly not the top end thick ones, those medium bracket clubs. Let's compare the two. One club has as many slots as you can fit on a golf club, the other one doesn't. It's got boron, whatever that is, kryptonite in the head. So we're going to compare the two clubs, see if there is a major difference between the two. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, RSi2 TaylorMade Mizuno JPX850 Forge with boron. Soles on both of these clubs are very similar in thickness. If anything, RSi2 is slightly thicker, and it's obviously got the slot on the bottom, which TaylorMade are all about at the minute. Putting them down by the ball, I mean, there's next to nothing in this. I would say the Mizuno is coming out a fraction slimmer in looks. Slightly straighter top edge, where this one has this kind of round bevel top edge, which I think tries to help slim off the thickness of it. Blade length looks very, very similar. Let's give these two a hit, see how they feel. Now, one is a 6 and one's a 5, so we are going to get different numbers out of our launch monitor numbers on this one, but we can work that back in to the data. I've looked at lofts and what have you. But again, not almost the same offset on both of these two. So let's start with RSi2. Obviously you get the face slots on this one as well. So this is big tagline with TaylorMade is miss hits. You've got to remember guys, there is not a company out there who hasn't brought an iron out of the major ones that hasn't been addressing miss hits for years. They might just not have been telling you in the language you understand. They might have been using MOIs and things like that, that kind of language. TaylorMade are definitely bringing the idea of miss hits punishing you, and that's the help of launch monitors at the minute, to the forefront of your buying criteria, which is a good thing. If the slots actually help with miss hits or not is another thing. Right, let's give this one a hit, see what it feels like. So hit that one, not bad, slightly bottomy, but it's flying nicely. Again, it's that kind of semi-true sound on this one. It's not the big loud click that you get from some of their more, if you want, game improvement models. It's a pretty nice head down by the ball, and I do quite like the look of the slots. They really frame the face up quite nicely and almost assist with alignment as well in some ways. Let's give it another hit. Hit that one really nicely. It's a good flight. It's exactly where I'd want to see the flight with a club like this. So it's up, but it's certainly not ballooning up in the air, and I feel like I could get this ball up in the air, no problem with this. It's not going to go too low. It is a middle bracket club in this company's array of clubs, so it's not the lowest launching, certainly not the highest launching on those kind of ideas. Let's give it one more hit. I do think this is a crossover, and I think it will cross over quite well with people. How they buy into the slots looks and feel wise is going to be interesting to see how that works with them, because it's quite a new concept. And having those slots on the face, hit that really nice, straight at the target. That feels good. I mean, I could game that club no problem at all. If we compare that up then to 850 Forged boron Mizuno, it's very similar in its looks. It does look a little trickier to hit. It is more slender, truer to the Mizuno kind of better player model, if you like. Let's give it a hit. Again, the flight almost looks identical to me. I'm really, apart from it being a 5 and a 6, excuse me, I'm not seeing like one is doing anything particularly much different to the other one that it shouldn't, bearing in mind it's a 5 and a 6. Let's give it another hit. Tiny bit of offset on this one, which appeal, chroming face, which is nice. Obviously doesn't have any slots anywhere, but undercuts and cavity backs, I would presume, and face construction, boron and what have you, is where they're going to try and help you with distance and off-center hits, like all companies always kind of have. Let's give it another hit. Again, hit that one, lovely. And it's a truish sound off the face. It's not making that massive clip, which you wouldn't expect from a forged branded iron. Right, so let's take a look at the numbers of these two irons. Let's see if there actually is any difference with the old slots to no slots. Right guys, numbers time. So we've got a 5-iron in the JPX850 forged hitting up against the TaylorMade RSi2 iron, but it's in a 6-iron. Now, 183 is my yardage with the forged 850 Mizuno forged. If we compare that to the RSi2, we're looking at 178. So around 5 yards difference on average. Not bad considering one's a 5 and one's a 6. Now, just simply saying one's a 5 and one's a 6 isn't really as obvious to you guys as what a 5 and 6 might mean, like I've done in other videos where I hit 5 and 6. What I mean by that is the lofts on these clubs are actually very close. I think it's only 2 degrees maybe difference in these lofts from a 5 to a 6 iron. So the reason there's only 5 yards difference there is a lot to do with the fact that the lofts are not that dissimilar on these two clubs. The JPX is stronger than because it's a 5-iron over a 6, but not by kind of the normal amount. They're actually quite close. Normal amount, whatever that means nowadays. That's the thing when it comes to testing clubs. There are so many variables. I mean, for me, if we look back at the numbers here, you'll see that TaylorMade RSi2 at 178 to, I think, what was it, the 183 in the JPX. I mean, that's kind of where I'd expect a 5-iron to a 6-iron to sit with some variables on that number. So obviously getting up to 187 max hit on the 5-iron with the Mizuno, where with the TaylorMade 183 is my max hit. You see what I mean? And then there's dropping down to 173s in the TaylorMade, where in the Mizuno, if I flip back to that one, we drop back down to 176. You see what I mean? So they're moving up and down accordingly, subject to where I strike it and bits like that. So the two clubs performing almost identically. Now, I've hit 3 shots and I've used different parts of the face, and my dispersion between short and long between the worst hit and the best hit is 10 yards on the Mizuno, so 176 to 186 on a better hit. If we go to the Slotterlicious RSi2, again it's 173 to 183, so again it's 10 yards on the worst hit to my top hit. Those mishits happen. Mishits have been happening for years, and companies have been trying to help you with mishits for years. TaylorMade are just bringing it maybe more to the forefront with their marketing. I don't think there's anything new here, guys. The slots are visible, so you guys can see exactly what they're marketing at. I wouldn't say that that club particularly performs anything better than a counterpart there in another manufacturer, because it hasn't got the visible slots that it has. Companies have always tried to do their utmost to help you with mishits from any club, even from the blades up to their most game improvement. Obviously the most game improvement help you with mishits a lot more than their blade, but they're always trying to reduce twist and things like that as you strike the ball to help you with those mishits. I think it's more that TaylorMade are just maybe bringing it to the market with some advertising and a marketing campaign, maybe to try and kind of detract you all from just thinking distance, distance, distance. Interesting number there, guys. Very similar numbers as you'd expect. I wouldn't say I'm seeing anything particularly out of any of those slots apart from they're very visual. I'm not saying one is better than the other either. I think they're both doing very well. I just think with the marketing of TaylorMade, people might think that their one is so much more or so much better than other manufacturers possibly for mishits. I wouldn't say it's so much better. I would say on performance it's very similar. I would say that they may be marketed so much better, which makes you believe that. Maybe post comments down below, love to hear what you've got to say. Two very similar performing irons, even though one's a 5 and a 6. Not as black and white as 5 and 6, because you've got to look at the lofts as well. But they're kind of slotting into exactly where I'd imagine those lofted kind of and length clubs should do in relationship to each other. Thanks for watching. Post comments down below. Love to hear what you've got to say. Speak to you soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.